What if Femdeku a love triangle amidst royal tragedy? Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. Abuse. A 5-letter word that is constantly thrown around by everyone and anyone nowadays, it seems. And at the enlightening age of 14, Katsuki finds himself wondering sometimes what that word really means. It is abuse. When you tell a friend how stupid they are for obsessing over anime all the goddamn time. Is it abuse? When you tell a friend how dumb they are for wanting to be a hero, even though they have absolutely no shot at becoming one. Is it abuse? When you burn your friend's notebook so that they can stop dreaming for something out of their reach. Katsuki doesn't think it is. If it were, Izuku wouldn't have bothered to try and save Katsuki from that sludge villain 3 weeks ago. Anger then consumes Katsuki as her name comes to mind. Izuku. Deku. The quirkless loser he's known since fucking elementary. The good-for-nothing, worthless weakling who actually still thinks she has a shot of getting into Yua. And yet, despite how crazy she drives him, and despite how he wants more than anything for everyone at their middle school to believe that Katsuki wants Izuku dead, deep down, he still views Izuku as a friend. It's why he hasn't honest-to-God killed her already. Now, don't misunderstand. There's no deeper meaning behind that sentiment. To Katsuki, Izuku is stuck in the friend zone, and she always will be. He's not going to explain why. Just look at her. She's a colossal wreck of an individual. She has the most insane hobbies and dreams, and while she may have good grades, she has such a complete disregard for how reality works and operates that it's a literal miracle she hasn't died yet. Whether it be death from depression or by getting killed by Katsuki himself. His fists ball, and he shakes his head. Who is he kidding? She's alive because of him. He isn't a fool. He knows how Izuku feels about him. Katsuki knows it, because beneath the hatred in her eyes, beneath the anger, the loathing, the contempt, there's something else hidden in her green orbs whenever she looks at Katsuki. And it's something she can't hide from Katsuki, no matter how hard she may try. It sickens him. It sickens him that what she's hiding is something he harbors for her as well. It sickens him how it's something he can never act out on. Not with the way she is. Not with who. Not with what she is. A quirkless nothing. Izuku admires Katsuki. It takes a certain kind of stupid not to see that. It's sickening. She admires a person who treats her like utter shit, who's treated her like utter shit since day one, and who will continue to treat her like shit as long she's still fucking alive. And it sickens him. And frankly, Katsuki wouldn't give a fuck about Izuku's admiration for him. Wait. What is saying? He doesn't give a fuck. But her wide eyes and voluptuous figure do get distracting every now and then. Katsuki growls as he stares at the ceiling of his bedroom as he lies in his bed. Who is he kidding? They're all what distract him from focusing on his fucking studies. Too often, he's imagined kissing her senseless. Too often, he's imagined her lips against his. Too often, he's wanted her body to just melt into his. He craves her. He craves her so fucking much. But with how she is and how she'll forever be, he can't have her. It wouldn't be right. What? Did you just say that you have a crush on Todoroki-kun, Izuku-chan? Uraraka exclaims as the brunette stands behind Izuku. Why, yeah, I think I do. Izuku says quietly as she washes her hands in the sink of the girls' bathroom at Yua. Izuku's thankful that they're both sheltered away from any of their classmates in the sanctuary of the girls' bathroom. Otherwise, Izuku would have strangled her friend Uraraka for being so loud. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, Izuku admits. She'd never lay a hand on Uraraka, a friend Izuku treasures with all of her heart. But Izuku does wish that Uraraka didn't have to speak so loudly. You should definitely tell him how you feel, Uraraka chimes. Izuku blinks. You think? Definitely. Izuku's heart beats, and starts beating so hard that she doesn't even hear, nor register the growl coming from one of the bathroom stalls. Katsuki didn't mean to eavesdrop on Izuku and Uraraka. He didn't even mean to go into the girls' bathroom. He just went because he's fucking tired of the boys' bathroom stalls being full during their school breaks. So he decided, fuck it. He'd use the girls' bathroom this time around. He wasn't expecting to hear Izuku and Uraraka enter the bathroom. And he definitely wasn't expecting to hear Izuku tell Uraraka that she has a crush on that half-and-half bastard. It takes everything within Katsuki not to open the stall and murder Izuku for even dreaming that she has a chance with that motherfucker. She's always been an idiot, constantly off in some fantasy land. But now she's going too far. It takes everything within Katsuki not to kill her. It takes everything within him not to burn the fucking school to the ground. Because while he's pissed and wants nothing more than to set Izuku in her place, he knows that there's a better way of doing that than resorting to physical violence. Katsuki smirks. That image you have of your Prince Charming's gonna burn to dust, Deku. When class starts again, Katsuki wants to strangle Izuku. Instead of listening to the lecture Aizawa's giving all of them, Izuku apparently thinks it's a better idea to stare at icy hot longingly like the biggest slut in the world. Seriously, look at her. Izuku's giving the look she always reserved for Katsuki back when they were in the second grade to a fucking disfigured freak. Not to mention, she's giving it to a moron whose god complex is worse than Katsuki's own. Katsuki clicks his tongue. What a fucking whore. Katsuki feels sick. He feels sick knowing how much that half-and-half bastard has her brain warped. Izuku has enough stupid things warping her brain enough already, and the last thing she needs is a boy to warp it further. Remind Katsuki why he hasn't killed that motherfucker again. Fuck. Katsuki's fists ball. Fuck that half-and-half bastard. Fuck him. Fuck his shitty fangirls. And fuck Izuku. Any person who thinks flames are better than explosions is a fucking idiot. When school ends for the day, Katsuki approaches Izuku, who's sifting through things in her locker. Oi, loser. Izuku flinches, her eyes wide, before they quickly narrow in defense. Kaken, she says steadily. What do you want? We need to have a talk, Katsuki says. He slouches on the locker next to hers. I have a question, Deku. Do you believe in love? Izuku stares at Katsuki. What are you trying to say? She asks, her eyes tired. You think I don't notice the way you stare at him? The way your knees get weak whenever you talk to him? I don't know who you're talking about. Izuku replies evenly. You know damn well who I'm talking about. Izuku shuts her eyes. Kaken, stop. You wanna fuck him, don't you? You good-for-nothing slut. Fury swells within Izuku, and she slaps him across the face with her right hand. What the fuck is wrong with you? She hisses. You don't get to talk to me like that, Kaken. You don't get to talk like that to anyone. Katsuki doesn't look sorry. Izuku bristles, wondering why in God's name she hasn't used her quirk on him, and why in God's name doesn't he look sorry? Izuku takes this as a sign to keep talking, even though she wants nothing more than to get into a fistfight with him. I might have been your punching bag all throughout elementary and middle school, but those days are over now, she says firmly. The flames of Empyrean burn through her as she speaks. Todoroki-kun will be mine, Izuku says with resolve. Kaken, your insults and bullying might have gotten to me when we were younger, but now they just fuel me to rise to even greater heights. I get that you're jealous, but that doesn't give you the right to call me a slut, asshole. Katsuki laughs. Jealous? Of you and that half-and-half bastard? You actually think that I'm jealous? Izuku's eyes burn with conviction. I don't think you are. I know you are. Katsuki's eyes darken, but Izuku doesn't look away from them. She doesn't look away from his red, evil eyes. Not even as she closes and locks her locker. TCH? Katsuki clicks his tongue, turns away, and starts walking in the opposite direction. Do what you want, Deku. Be a fucking whore for all I care. Against her will, the power of one for all activates. Its power pulsates through her entire body. Call me a whore one more time, she snarls. Katsuki ignores her and keeps walking away from her. Izuku grits her teeth as she watches Katsuki walk away from her, even though she wants to put Katsuki in his place. More than anything, memories from their youth come flooding back, memories of the days when he was her friend. All the way back in the fucking second grade, come flooding back, and she weeps. She just can't fight him. She still remembers the boy he used to be. Damn it, she yells, tears streaming down her cheeks as she wraps herself in a tight embrace. One for All still refuses to deactivate, and it sends her emotions into overdrive. Damn it, damn it. She sinks to her knees, grits her teeth, clutches her chest tightly, and cries. Just like that day, that moment, when All Might told her she could become a hero. It's fucked up how she's associating that moment with something like this. Fuck Katsuki. Fuck him. Izuku doesn't remember the last time she sat down on a bench in a park to cry. And she doesn't remember the last time she's cried this hard over another person's words. You wanna fuck him, don't you? You good-for-nothing slut. Katsuki's words replay her in her mind. You're so cruel, Kaken. So cruel. She thinks to herself miserably. She hates Katsuki. She hates him so much for how cruel he can be. She hates how the boy she once loved more than life itself treats her like a nothing. She hates how even though Katsuki treats her like dirt, she still looks up at him, still wants to be like him. She hates him. She hates everything about him. His voice, his hair, his eyes. She hates all of it. Midoriya? Izuku freezes the second she hears that voice. It's her prince. Are you all right? Izuku swallows hard and tries to swallow the influx of the tears that want to keep spilling from her eyes. It doesn't work, but at least her lowered head has her bangs do a semi-decent job of concealing her expression. Hi, Todoroki-kun, she says quietly. Sorry, you have to see me like this. I just... Without asking, her prince sits on the bench next to her. Izuku can't look at him. She can't look at him because she's such a mess, such a blubbering, gross, weak mess that... Do you want to talk about it? Todoroki asks gently. It really takes everything within Izuku not to hug her crush and nuzzle her face against his neck. She sniffles and inwardly shakes her head. Even though she's sad and feels terrible and awful, she's not going to give in to temptation. No matter what. Determination prompts her to find the will to speak more coherently. My feelings got hurt really badly by someone who used to mean the world to me. She brushes her tears and sighs. I'm used to it, though. I see, Todoroki says. Izuku's green eyes then focus their attention onto the sunset that colors their vast sky. Orange is such a pretty color. It sets their city aglow. Autumn is pretty. It's a season rich with meaning. It's a season that steals the sultry heat of the summer sun, just like Shouto. Hey, Todoroki-kun, Izuku asks. Do you believe in love? Yeah, I do. The sunset never ceases to be beautiful. Todoroki's sudden death shakes everyone at Yua. The manner of death, even more so. He was killed protecting Izuku from one of the members of the League of Villains. She still remembers how quick Todoroki was to dart in front of her and take the blow meant for her. She still remembers how she held Todoroki in her arms as he bled to death. She still remembers all the blood. She still remembers all the red. She still remembers how Katsuki, Uraraka, Kirishima, and Kaminari then arrived to the scene to help. She still remembers how Katsuki murdered the villain right before her eyes. There were so many screams that day. There was so much blood that day. So much red. And Izuku remembers every detail. She's deathly silent at Todoroki's funeral. She doesn't cry because she doesn't feel. She doesn't weep because it's not her place. Todoroki died a hero. Her hero. It wasn't what she wanted. But she guesses it's what she needed. What she deserved. No, she won't weep. She'll never cry again. Not until she eradicates every member of the League. Author's note. The timeline of when Shadow's death happens is intentionally not specified. Izuku has trouble looking at Katsuki after Shadow's death. Not that she was ever good at it to begin with. Red is such an evil color. Years later, Izuku graduates. And years later, Izuku's become the symbol of peace and has become the #1 hero. This would have made her 16-year-old self glow. This would have made her 8-year self beam. But the League is still strong, and no matter how many members she arrests, no matter how many villains she fights, evil never truly ever loses its hold in this city. But she continues to fight. She continues to fight because it's the only thing she can do. Izuku's 22 now. It's Valentine's Day, and instead of spending it with someone special, she spends it running errands. The last of her errands for the day involve her going to the grocery store, and it's there where Izuku realizes how much the color red drives her insane. She can't look at it. She can't look at it without thinking of Todoroki. She can't look at it without thinking of Katsuki's eyes. It's such an evil color. She feels better once she leaves the grocery store and hopes that when she gets home, she can just forget about the color red altogether. She doesn't. The older Izuku gets, the more she realizes how much she likes oranges. They're not as good as candy or chocolate, but they're good for you. The older Izuku gets, the more she realizes how much she loves autumn. The crime rate is surprisingly low during this season. And the older she gets, the more she realizes how much she misses Todoroki. It's summer. It's on a bright summer day when Izuku, now 24 years of age, has a breakdown and sobs. And she's standing alone in one of UA's empty classrooms when it happens. She hates summer so much. She hates how high the crime rate has become during this season. A season when adults, teenagers, and children are meant to just enjoy life. It's so cruel. It's so unfair. It's so evil. Deku. Izuku shudders. She knows that voice. She slowly turns around. Katsuki stands in the doorway. Izuku grits her teeth. Kaken, she says coolly. What do you want? Why are you crying? Katsuki asks. And what are you doing? Crying alone in this classroom. That's none of your concern, Izuku replies sharply, her fists balling. Katsuki has absolutely no reason to be here. No right to know why she's crying. Katsuki rolls his eyes. Right. Well, anyway, next time you decide to cry somewhere where I can actually find you. He starts rummaging through a large green bag he's brought with him. This is the most secluded classroom in all of the school, and I had to go through every single god-forsaken classroom, every single freaking floor, just so I could find you. Izuku's knees get weak. Why? She asks. Katsuki pulls out Izuku's hero costume from his bag and holds it up vertically in front of him with both of his hands. Izuku breathes. My costume. It's repaired. Izuku shakes her head. Doesn't it normally take the repair department at least a couple days to repair costumes? Well, yeah, Katsuki says as he puts the costume back in the bag. He then walks over to Izuku and hands her the bag. But seeing as the repair department's turned to shit ever since May died, it would have probably taken them more than a week to fix it. And seeing as you're the #1 hero now, no one can afford to wait that long for you to get back to work. So I decided to repair it myself. He pauses. I even added some upgrades here and there. He adds at last. Izuku keeps staring at him. lost for words. Katsuki blinks. She's staring at him like she expects him to say more. So he speaks. You know better than anyone that crime is worse than it's ever been in this country right now. So it's important for you to have your costume back. He pauses. People need you, the symbol of peace, to get back to work as soon as possible. She keeps eyeing him watchfully. What's her deal? Katsuki thinks to himself, puzzled. You have no idea how many hero costumes the repair department needs to fix daily as a result of the villain crisis the country's in right now. He continues, irked and confused by Izuku's behavior. He then let out an exasperated moan. You'd also think that they'd prioritize fixing your costume first, seeing as you're the symbol of peace. But I guess that's what happens when you have an idiot like Kirishima running the repair department. An idiot who sucks at organization, and who doesn't even know how to tie his own shoelaces. He pauses again, then deadpans. That's not even an exaggeration. He literally doesn't. Izuku keeps staring at him. Holy hell, what does this woman want from him? What else is Katsuki supposed to say? It wasn't that hard to convince them to give me the chance to repair the costume. Their hands are full, and they needed all the help they could get. Katsuki scratches the back of his neck sheepishly. And I'm not going to become head of the repair department, if that's what you want from me. Katsuki says. I know I ripped on Kirishima just now for being incompetent, but truthfully, if I were head of the repair department, I'd probably be worse at managing things than he is. Izuku then speaks up. Why? She says. Katsuki blinks. Huh? Why? She repeats. Izuku slowly walks towards Katsuki. Why would you do this for me, Kaken? Katsuki furrows his brow in confusion. It all happens too fast. Way too fast. Izuku drops Katsuki's bag, runs over to Katsuki, grabs him by his shoulders with both of her hands, and presses her lips against his. Astonished, Katsuki grabs her shoulders and pries her off of him, his eyes wide. Deku, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up, Izuku growls, and she pushes him against the wall. A feat she could only accomplish using her quirk. Just shut the fuck up. Deku, what's gotten into you? Shut up, she hisses. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. She looks up at him, tears streaming down her cheeks. I hate you, Kaken, she cries out. I hate everything about you. Katsuki can only stare at her with his eyes wide, shocked. A blush surfaces. Deku. She kisses him again, only this time, Katsuki reciprocates the kiss furiously. Years of pent-up emotions release, culminate, and reach their breaking point. And once Izuku deactivates her quirk, he switches their positions so that he's the one pressing Izuku against the wall. His tongue relentlessly clashes with Izuku's, even as they both slowly sink to the floor. Kaken. Izuku moans between their kiss. Katsuki groans. The way she still calls Katsuki his nickname, even after all these years, is fucking adorable. She's adorable. Everything about her is adorable and perfect. Her voice, her hopelessly short hair, her figure, her heart. Katsuki pulls away from their kiss. Deku, stop it. We have to stop it. Izuku looks shattered. Why? Katsuki looks at the ground, cheeks flushed. Because we're not even married. He tries weakly. Seriously, that's his excuse. He thinks to himself in annoyance. I'm sorry, I can't do this. Katsuki says as he slowly tries to stand up. Kaken, she wails. And before they both know it, he's back on his knees, back on the floor kissing her again. Katsuki can't fucking help it. Izuku is his, has always been his. And even though she might have had some silly crush on that half-and-half bastard all those years back, look at her. Look at how far she's come. She's blossomed into something beautiful. She's blossomed into someone beautiful. She's blossomed into beauty itself. And Katsuki can't call himself a man if he doesn't give her what she needs. He feels high. He feels fucking lit. Passion rushes through his core as his tongue fiercely brawls with Izuku's, his cheeks flushed. He's never done this with someone before, but he knows that whatever he's doing it right. After their tongues play with one another for a good minute or two, Katsuki and Izuku both pull away from each other to catch some air. After 3 long gasps, Izuku speaks. Kaken. Kaken. She wraps her arms around his back and pulls him close. Fuck me. Please, she says. Katsuki shivers. Fuck, Deku. You're breaking my balls here. He replies huskily. A smirk grazes his features. You're going to have to do more than that. He murmurs into her ear. Izuku starts leaving peck after peck on the left side of his neck. Kaken, please, fuck me, she whispers. Look at me, Deku. Katsuki breathes. It's a simple statement at first glance. It's as simple as a statement can get. But it's one that causes Izuku's pecs to cease, causes her brain to go haywire, and she freezes. What's wrong? Katsuki asks. A vision. An image. No. A memory of Todoroki comes to mind, and suddenly Izuku feels sick. Suddenly, she feels betrayed. And suddenly, Izuku feels evil. Deku, talk to me. Katsuki tries. But she can't. She can't. Because that would mean she would have to look at Katsuki. That would mean she would have to look into Katsuki's eyes. And she can't. She just fucking can't. Because whenever she sees Katsuki's red eyes, she sees shadow. Whenever she sees Katsuki's red eyes, all she sees is that lonely, gentle boy who was abused by his father. Whenever she sees Katsuki's red eyes, she sees her prince's body cradled in her arms as he bled to death. She begins to tremble. She still remembers the way Todoroki died. There was so much blood, so much red. She still remembers all the therapy sessions she had to go to after his death. She still remembers all the medication she had to take for years on end. She starts to shake. Her face reddens. Whenever she sees Katsuki's red eyes, her soul bleeds. Whenever she talks to Katsuki, her heart dies. The person she seeks isn't Katsuki, but the man she deserves is him. Katsuki's red eyes have always been so beautiful to Izuku. She's always loved them. Because she's fucking pathetic. Kaken, I hate you, she cries. I hate you so much. Her words don't align with her actions in the slightest. They never have, really. Izuku kisses him again. Katsuki hisses, cups her face with both of his hands and deepens the kiss. And neither take how much time passes into consideration. Eventually, their kissing ceases. It ceases because at some point, Izuku starts crying. Katsuki leans back and stares at her. Her face is cerise and her eyes are shut tight. Why are you crying? Because you're not Todoroki-kun. You're not him. She blubbers. You're right, I'm not. Katsuki is gentle in caressing Izuku's right cheek with his right hand. But he's not the guy you were ever searching for to begin with, Deku. She won't open her eyes. She won't open her eyes because she knows Katsuki's right, and it sickens her. I hate you so much, Bakugo Katsuki. I hate you so much. Do you mean it? She nods her head stupidly. Yeah, I really mean it. Katsuki makes a noise that sounds like a chuckle. He then lightly brushes the bottom of her left eyelid with his finger. Izuku bites her lip. I hate you, Kaken. I hate you so much. I know, Izuku. Wait, what? Did you just call me by my first name? Izuku exclaims, her eyes shooting open. Katsuki blinks. Oh, I guess I did. Izuku blinks. Then she begins to laugh. Does that mean you don't view me as a worthless Deku anymore? Katsuki blinks again, And suddenly, his entire body turns pink. Fuck. What could Katsuki say to that? Izuku laughs. Katsuki rolls his eyes, but knows he can't defend himself. His whole fucking body is pink, for crying out loud. F asterisk 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 his life. So he instead sighs, and decides to be honest. I just think Izuku is a pretty name. At Katsuki's words, Izuku's heart beats. It beats harder than it ever did for Shadow. It beats harder than it ever did for anyone, or anything. And she smiles. There's truly no one out there like Katsuki, and that's what makes him truly special. Izuku clutches the cloth on the left side of her chest with her right hand tightly. Kaken. Thank you. Hey, Kaken. HM. She pushes him gently aside with her left finger. She then grabs the green bag that's been laying next to them the whole time they've been kissing with her right hand. And then, she uses the both of her legs to stand up. Let's go and put an end to evil, once and for all. She says as she starts walking towards the door. Let's go and defeat Tamura. A sliver of Empyrean rushes through Katsuki's heart, and he sighs. He stands up and follows suit. Whatever you say, number 1. The sun is bright today. Author's note. This is technically the final chapter of this story. There's more I've written with this piece in mind, which I may post. But this is the original ending, so to speak. So, as I've said before, this entire story was originally posted on Archiviaphone about a year ago. Perhaps some events in this story don't exactly align with the events that have happened in the manga since then. But what can an author do? This short sequel in particular was born out of my desire to vent over certain events that have happened on my life. The older I get, the more I realize that emotions like love and hatred are far more complicated than they're given credit for. While it would have been fun to write Katsuki's redemption arc and Izuku's and Katsuki's relationship developing through the years in detail, I tried to leave those things open to interpretation. It was my goal to imply that Katsuki had changed as an individual for the better as the years went on, seeing as he fixed Izuku's hero costume. But it was also necessary to showcase that, despite his act of kindness, some wounds had yet to heal from Izuku's part. How their relationship developed throughout the years prior to the events of this chapter is kind of meant to be vague and unclear. I like to think that's the beauty of it. It's really open to your guys' interpretation. Anyway, to all of you reading this, to all of you who have been around since my previous work, Tender Roots, thank you for reading. Please know that you are loved greatly. You are all loved so much. Every one of your views, every one of your comments means so much to me. Stay wonderful and stay healthy amidst this crisis this world is going through right now. It will pass. The pandemic will pass. I'm praying to the Lord for it to pass as soon as possible. I hope He's listening. Once again, I love you all, and thank you for reading. Stay golden. The spiritual sun is just over the horizon. Kaken goes back and forth between calling Izuku by her first name and nickname in this chapter because he's a dork. Also, while the beginning of this chapter story might have a rocky start, by the end, I think it's more than satisfactory. Enjoy, my lovelies. There comes a time in Izuku's life where dreaming becomes as natural as breathing, and breathing becomes as natural as living. So, when one night, she wakes up from a dream so bad that even the worst writers would be raising a brow at how bad it is, she asks herself, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Okay, so, growing up, at some point, she developed a weakness for fairy tales. Katsuki always made fun of her for that, but can you really blame her? She's a girl. Okay, lame excuse, but still, it's not her fault. She's always had an active imagination. And when Katsuki started bullying her all those years ago, maybe she turned to reading fairy tales as a coping mechanism at some point. She doesn't know. It was long ago, okay? She doesn't. No. Some memories get discarded, forgotten, or even retooled. Anyway, so growing up, at some point she started to like fairy tales. There was just something always appealing about the worlds that the characters in fairy tales would find themselves in. Truthfully, she still finds those worlds appealing in their own way. It's embarrassing to admit it, but even to this day, when she has some free time, she likes sit down and read some classic fairy tales. Sometimes, even imagine herself as a character in one of her favorite fairy tales. Even though those exact same fairy tales are, when you boil down to it, meant for toddlers. She's 30. It's really not something people her age do. And while Izuku's mature enough to realize the fact that every person her age she knows possesses some kind of strange hobby, she's also mature enough to admit that her hobby regarding fairy tales is, well, okay. Maybe one could define it as pure. But as Izuku gets older, the less it really seems. Why? Because fairy tales are pure, and Izuku, at this point in her life, really isn't. It's bad enough that she had a crush on almost every classmate single boy in her class back when she was a teenager at UA. But even worse is the fact that when she's not thinking about fairy tales, she's thinking about really disgusting stuff. Like, she gets it. Hormones are a thing. Maybe they're not meant to be so pronounced at her age, but she still has them. It's not her fault, really. That being said, guys are the ones meant to be pervs, not girls. They're the ones meant to be fantasizing about harems, not her. So, combine all this information, and you get a dream straight out of a really bad fanfiction. Like, really bad. So bad that even the cringiest of cringe comps are raising a brow at how bad the dream is. Dreams don't inherently mean anything, right? Right. They never have. Sure, you have your psychiatrists and religious folk who each have their own different take on the meaning behind dreams. But where on earth is the meaning behind having a dream that centers around, well, cock on, Izuku weeps. It's 4 in the morning. She knows she's selfish for waking her husband up at this hour, but Katsuki's eyes dart open as he lies next to her in bed. Huh, what is it? He asks. I had a really weird dream just now, she says as she turns on the lamp on the drawer located right next to their bed. You always have weird dreams, Izuku. This one was really weird, though. Katsuki sits upwards. All right, I'm listening. So, okay, you remember how, Todoroki-kun, Kirishima, and Uraraka-san all had a crush on me back while we were at UA? Yes. And that piece of knowledge still gets under my skin to this day. Well, I basically dreamt that all of them were trying to woo me again. Only this time, we were all in this weird fairy tale world that really made no sense. Katsuki rolls his eyes. Does anything you dream ever make sense, Izuku? Izuku pouts. I'm serious. For whatever reason, in the dream, I was. Well. She pauses. Okay. So, this is how it went down. She pauses again. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if I can even remember the details of the dream. Wait. Give me a second. There's a long silence that lasts between them as Izuku tries to recall the contents of her dream. It lasts at least a minute. I mean, it was just so weird. I remember that I was wielding a sword, and that Todoroki-kun was a prince. I also remember that Uraraka-san was wielding a sword, too. She looked really cute in the dream. And, I don't really remember what Kirishima was supposed to be in the dream, but he was there. And they were all basically my love interests. And we were all basically out on a quest to save Todoroki-kun from some kind of curse. Yeah, that's what it was. There was a lot of sword fighting, action, and drama. And, somehow even religion got thrown into the mix. Christianity and Judaism, to be specific. I think there was another religion somewhere there, too. There was Plato, too, I think. She sighs. Sorry. That's all I can remember, really. Or at least, that's the only way I can word the dream so that it makes sense. Izuku's head lowers. Sorry. Katsuki smirks. You know what I was dreaming about? Katsuki starts. Izuku blinks. Doing this. He folds her between thumb and forefinger. He breathes on her. He'll never get enough of the way her body freezes up whenever he touches her. Never get enough of holding her against him like this. He parts her hair, speaks into her ear. Deku. Izuku gulps. Keiken. She looks away. She always does. Her face turns red. So beautiful. The kids will hear us. She tries. Maybe we should. Too late, Katsuki whispers as he grips her chin and pulls her mouth to his. Too late, Izuku. Izuku mumbles, but doesn't protest. It's not in her nature. But tongues dance as Katsuki starts to slip off her nightgown to reveal. Wait, Izuku says abruptly as she covers her now bare chest. Katsuki's eyes narrow. Damn it, Deku, what now? I remember more of the dream now. Clarity ushers through Izuku's eyes. You were in it too. Katsuki blinks. Oh. Izuku nods, smiling. Yeah, you were in it too, she says happily. She then blushes. Crap. Sorry. I killed the mood just now, didn't I? Sorry. Izuku says again as she presses her index fingers against each other. Like, for real. Katsuki sighs. I know how you work by now, Izuku, so don't worry about it. Izuku pouts, but doesn't say anything back at first. There's a part of her that wishes that instead of overthinking things all the time, she could just, well, enjoy the moment more. The other part desperately craves a world unlike this one. Not because this one is bad, it's just, well, she wants to slap her cheeks. What is she even saying? This world. The real world, in which she lives in, is perfect. She has a husband who's been with her through thick and thin. She has friends who have been with her through thick and thin. She has 2 kids she can't get enough of, and a job doing something she loves. What more could a woman ask for? She's so selfish, now that she thinks about it. She's such a terrible wife. You're ruminating again, aren't you, Izuku? Izuku sighs. You really shouldn't have married me. Keiken, Izuku starts. I'm beautiful, Katsuki finishes. Izuku flushes. I was gonna say terrible. Izuku replies hotly. You're terribly beautiful, if you don't mind me saying. An explosion of emotions have Izuku sputtering. You're only saying that because it's late and you're probably hungry. Izuku says. You didn't eat dinner last night, so Izuku shakes her head again. What is Izuku even saying? Is she an idiot? Of course he's hungry. He didn't eat anything last night. That's why he's acting like this. That explains why. I'll go and make you something, Izuku says as she tries to get off the bed. Nah. Katsuki says. But before Izuku can retort that he's hungry, and that's why he's acting and saying things he normally doesn't. He pulls her against him, voice poison in her ear. I'm hungry, all right? But I don't think food's gonna satisfy my urges in this case. Defiantly, he cups her face with both his hands and smashes his lips against hers. Izuku shudders. She wants to pull away, wants to resist the way he's making her feel, but she's not sure she can. She feels hot beyond all measure, and the feeling only increases the more Katsuki plays with her tongue. Okay? Screw it. Her body is set on fire. She grips the front of his shirt tightly and kisses him back furiously. Katsuki growls. So that's how you want to play, huh? Katsuki hisses as he pulls away from the kiss to look at Izuku. Her eyes are shut, on the verge of tears. Her lips are pursed and plump. Fucking ready to be devoured. This time, Katsuki is merciless. He pushes her down against the sheets of their bed, cups a breast with his left hand, and ravages her mouth like nothing else in this world ever could. Like nothing else in her shitty little dreams ever can. She belongs to him. She is his. In this world and the next. Katsuki grips her breast tightly. She is his. She is his. She is his. I want you to never mention that half and half bastard again. Katsuki snarls angrily. He can't help it. He still hates that fucker, even though he's dead. And he always will, for as long as he lives. Katsuki pulls away from the kiss to look at her, but never lets go of her breast. It's his. Do I make myself clear? Izuku nods slowly. Her lips are parted and eyes are still closed. She's perfect. So beautiful. So pure. He grips her breast even tighter. But a liar nonetheless. I want you to say it. Katsuki hisses. Say it, Izuku. Say it. Izuku breathes. Say it, Izuku. Just say it already. I'm yours, she says. She wraps her arms around him. I'm yours, Kaken, she whispers. Her voice is delicious. I've always been. Katsuki snarls, cups her face, and kisses her again. Kisses her tender, beautiful lips that were made for him, that are his everything, that he's dreamed about claiming fully for himself. Since the first day they met, all those years ago. Because she's his, and she reciprocates. She reciprocates, because he knows she feels the same way. Because she's his.